Hello dear students, today we are going to start up with the new chapter of history, that is Nazism and the rise of Hitler. Now before I start up with the chapter, we will be discussing about few facts that matters a lot about this chapter. Some of the facts I am going to discuss right now, they are: after the defeat of the Imperial Germany at the end of the First World War, there was the King Kaiser William II who fled to Holland. And this gave an opportunity to the parliamentary parties to recast German polity. And they met at Weimar and established a republic in November 1918, which is known as the Weimar Republic. Now, the Weimar Republic had to face many problems since its beginning. And some of them were like the terms and the conditions of the Treaty of Versailles, which we have already learned, were too harsh and humiliating. Germany also had to agree to pay huge war compensation amounting to almost 6 billion pounds to the Allied countries. So all these, treaties and all were creating problem for the Weimar Republic. Now, many Germans held the new Weimar Republic responsible for not only the defeat in the war, but the disgrace at Versailles as well. Thus, the Republic carried the burden of war guilt and national humiliation. It was financially crippled by being forced to pay the compensation. The years of depression, which we have already learnt, like from the 1929 to 32, hit the Germany economy badly. And by 1932, the industrial production was reduced to almost 40% of the 1929 level. So you can imagine from 1929 to 1932, there was almost a 40% reduction in the industrial production. And the workers, they lost their jobs or were paid, their pay was reduced. The economic crisis created deep anxieties and fear in the mind of the people. Now, the government could not control the crisis. As a result, people, they lost confidence in the democratic parliamentary system. Because after having faith in a government, when all these things happened, and basically when the economic crisis arose, that time the people, they lost the faith. And this crisis in the economy, polity and society, because always remember children, whenever there is an economic crisis, that will definitely affect the society, and when the society gets affected, it will also affect the political system. So this crisis formed the background to the Hitler's rise to power. The Germany's defeat in the First World War horrified him, and the Versailles Treaty made him furious. Who? Hitler. And in the year 1919, he joined a small group called the German Workers' Party, which was subsequently renamed the National Socialist German Workers' Party. Now, this party came to be known as the Nazi Party. I repeat, the National Socialist German Workers' Party later on came to be known as the Nazi Party, which was led by Hitler. Now, this Nazi Party considered Germany superior to all other nations and wanted to have her influence all over the world. And it aimed at expanding the German Empire and acquiring all those colonies that were snatched away from her. So, however, the Nazis could not effectively mobilize popular support till the early 1930s. And it was during the Great Depression, which we have spoken just now about it, that Nazism became a mass movement. Nazi propaganda stirred hopes for a better future among the worried Germans. Though Germans who were very, very terrified by the Great Depression, when the Nazis, they came up, a little bit of hope that got stirred up or injected in the mind of the Germans. And by 1932, the Nazi Party had become the largest party in the German parliament. Now Hitler, the leader of the Nazi Party, was a powerful speaker, and his passion and his words moved people very much. He promised to build a strong nation, undo the injustice of Versailles Treaty, and restore the dignity of the German people. So what did Hitler promise? As I said, the Hitler was a very, very good speaker. He was a very good orator. And when he started addressing the people of Germany, he promised them that he is going to build a strong nation, and whatever injustice was written in the Versailles Treaty, he also promised that he will undo it, he will change it, and the restoring of the dignity of the German people, which they were losing each and every time. So on March 3rd, 1933, the famous Enabling Act was passed, and this act established Hitler's dictatorship in Germany. All the political parties and trade unions were banned except the Nazi Party and its affiliates. The state established complete control over the economy, even the media and the army and judiciary. So once in the power, the Nazis quickly began to implement their dream of creating an exclusive racial community of pure Germans by physically eliminating all those who were seen as undesirable in the extended empire. Now, Nazis wanted only a society of pure and healthy Nordic Aryans. So, whoever was not coming or falling under the Nordic Aryans, Nazis, they went very, very against them. They alone were considered desirable, and whoever was not an Aryan or a Nordic Aryan were termed as undesirables, such as the Jews, Gypsies, and blacks living in Nazi Germany were classified as undesirables, and they were considered as racial inferiors who threatened the biological purity of superior Aryan race, and they were widely persecuted. See, now Nazi, when they came up, when they promised to make a better Germany and to uplift the economic condition, when they came into power, the first thing they did was to attack the social condition. How did they do it? By simply classifying themselves as superior Aryans. And because, the Jews, the Gypsies and the blacks, because of this color, creed and all, they were termed as undesirables. Jews remained the worst sufferers in Nazi Germany. I will be talking about the Jews in detail in one of my class, and I will tell you that how they were terrified and terrorized. From the year 1933 to the year 1938, the Nazis, they terrorized, pauperized and segregated the Jews, compelling them to leave the country. Then came the next phase. In the year 1939 to 1945, aimed at concentrating them in certain areas and eventually killing them in gas chambers in Poland. If you have heard about this, you must be knowing that underground there were gas chambers built up. All these Jews, handcuffed and tied up tightly, were put inside these gas chambers, and they all, there was mass destruction, killed. Hitler felt that a strong Nazi society could be established only by teaching children Nazi ideology. Hence, all schools were cleaned and purified, which meant that teachers who were Jews or seen as politically unreliable were dismissed, were removed. and Germans and Jews were not allowed to sit together or even play together. Later on, Jew children who were physically handicapped and the gypsies were thrown out of the school. They were not even allowed to study and take education. 10 years old had to enter. There was a community which was called Jungvolk, which was a Nazi youth organization for children below the age of 14 years. And at 14, all boys had to join the Nazi youth organization, Hitler Youth, where they learned to worship war, glorified aggression and violence, condemn democracy, and hate Jews. So you can understand that right from 10 to 14 years, these small children, even 14 years and above, how, with forcefully they were taught aggression, violence, and how to condemn democracy. Why democracy? Because they always believed in one dictatorship and hate Jews. At the age of 18, they had to join the labor service to serve in the armed forces and enter one of the Nazi organization. It was must for the boys that whoever turns 18 will now have to serve for the labor service of the Nazis. This Nazi thinking about the motherhood was unique. The girls were told that they had to become good mothers and rear pure-blooded only Aryan children. They had to maintain the purity of race, distance themselves from Jews, look after the home, and teach their children only Nazi values. So in Nazi Germany, all mothers were not treated equally. Women who bore racially undesirable children were punished. Undesirable children means those who sometimes looked like Jews or gypsies or blacks. They were punished. And those who produced racially desirable children were awarded. Information about the Nazi practices came out of Germany during the last year of the regime. And it was only after the war ended and Germany was defeated that the world came to realize the horrors of what had happened. Before that, no one had any clue what was going in Germany against the Jews and the Gypsies. When the World War came to an end, when the world, they got to see the condition of Germany, then only they could make out, they could imagine, they could realize what sort of horror they had to face and they had to go through. So I'm concluding the chapter right now. I will be continuing with the chapter in my next classes. And till time, children, take very good care of yourself and God bless you all.